Caitlin Clark taking over the city. Come to your trap. Take over your trap.
The Indiana Fever has clinched a playoff spot for the second consecutive year. Guys,
the Indiana Fever game versus the Washington Mystics. And yes, indeed, Indiana, congratulations, clinched a playoff spot.
The Fever are officially in the playoffs right now. After a crazy season.
Fever clinched a playoff berth, bro. What a hell of a feeling, dog.
The Indiana Fever have officially clinched a playoff spot, back-to-back blowouts.
All right, get this. Just minutes ago, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever absolutely rocked the WNBA. They didn't just clinch the playoffs, they did it with a style that immediately sent their locker room celebration totally viral. This isn't just a win or even just history in the making. This is the start of something genuinely massive.
Coming into this game, the Indiana Fever were one win away from clinching a playoff berth after their victory over the Chicago Sky. So the Indiana Fever is in the playoffs now.
So, heading into this game, the Indiana Fever were literally one win away from locking in a playoff spot, especially after that huge victory against the Chicago Sky. And guess what? They did it. The Fever are officially in the playoffs, and you could feel the fans absolutely buzzing. All super hyped to see Caitlin Clark right there in the middle of that celebration.
Coming into this game, the Indiana Fever were one win away from clinching a playoff berth after their victory over the Chicago Sky. So the Indiana Fever is in the playoffs now. And of course, they can claim some kind of victory lap, I guess. Stephanie White can. Oh my goodness, look at the job she's done.
Talk about a massive win. Even with the Mystics not making the cut this season, the Fever absolutely secured their spot, and the energy in that arena was electric, carrying all that momentum straight into an insane playoff clinching celebration.
I'm rolling with the defensive effort today. Everybody deserves credit for what they did today. This was a massive win. Obviously, the Mystics aren't making the playoffs, but we are, and we need to go in playing well and getting out of the 8th seed and staying away from it. So I'll take this win. Aaliyah Boston, when we get to these playoffs, I'm gonna need a lot more out of you.
Okay, so the Fever just crushed it, clinching a playoff spot with a dominant 94-65 win against the Mystics. And get this, even with Caitlin Clark sidelined, that locker room was absolutely buzzing, and the fan support was so incredible it turned their victory into this totally viral, unforgettable celebration.
This is big time. The Fever clinched a playoff berth with a dominant 94-65 win over the Mystics, man. Despite battling through injuries and defying the odds, this team showed resilience, determination all season with a true next man up mentality. That hard work has paid off, and they have officially secured a spot in the 2025.
After what's been a truly wild season, the Fever are officially playoff bound right now. This incredible achievement set the stage for some epic celebrations that completely grabbed the attention of literally everyone who's been following Caitlin Clark and the team.
The Fever are officially in the playoffs right now. After a crazy season. A crazy season where, look, I think at the end of the day, not getting a lottery pick is not going to be good. But you know what? I can't be too negative. This team fought. Like, I didn't give them much. If you would have said at the start of the season, you would have given them no chance to make the playoffs.
Breaking news, the Indiana Fever just clinched their playoff berth, officially locking in that number 7 spot. And you know what happened next? All eyes immediately turned to the team's celebration, especially with Caitlin Clark there, making the whole moment explode across social media and go even more viral.
The Indiana Fever just clinched their playoff berth, right? So they're in it. They're number 7. They're in it. Now you have Seattle fighting for this position with the Los Angeles Sparks. And I do feel like the Seattle Storm, all they have to do is win one and they'll clinch it, or the Sparks have to lose one and then it's over for them. I think the Sparks schedule is too tough. They will end up losing that last game, and now you have Seattle at number 8.
And boom, the Indiana Fever have officially absolutely clinched a playoff spot, right? we're talking back-to-back blowouts here. First, they absolutely dominated the trash Chicago, then they just wiped the floor with the Washington Mystics, especially after that whole Brittany Sykes trade.
The Indiana Fever have officially clinched a playoff spot, back-to-back blowouts, beating up the trash Chicago Sky, beating up the Washington Mystics. After they traded Brittany Sykes, the Mystics have just been on a downward spiral. The Indiana Fever walk into Baltimore because the Mystics don't play in Washington this year.
Seriously, despite battling through 5 season-ending injuries and just a ton of other adversity, the Indiana Fever have somehow secured and absolutely clinched a playoff spot. Look, it's not a WNBA championship yet, but honestly, given everything this team and squad has been through this year, it is 100% worth celebrating.
Despite that, 5 season-ending injuries, other bits of adversity, the Indiana Fever have secured and clinched a playoff spot. No, it is not a WNBA championship, but given what the team and the squad has been through, it certainly is worth celebrating. That's the way I would look at it. That is how I look at it. Look, I mean, it is bittersweet in a sense, because like a lot of y'all, I was hoping Caitlin Clark would be back.
Indiana, huge congratulations. You guys clinched a playoff spot, and honestly, that is absolutely massive for this team, especially after everything they've been through and are still going through just to make it to the playoffs.
The Indiana Fever game versus the Washington Mystics, and yes, indeed, Indiana, congratulations, clinched a playoff spot. That is absolutely huge for this team to have gone through the adversity this team is still going through, and to make it to the playoffs. You gotta know how huge this is. And this accomplishment today is every part of the team's accomplishment.
Okay, because the Indiana Fever just absolutely owned the Washington Mystics. Like, they basically did them dirty like some dishes in the sink, and now they've officially clinched a playoff spot. So you know what? A massive congratulations to the Fever. They seriously deserve this.
And speaking of playoff spot, guys, because the Indiana Fever just did the Washington Mystics like some dishes in the sink, they have officially clinched a playoff spot. So you know what? Congratulations to the Fever. They deserved it. They have been working so hard all throughout the season.
So, the Indiana Fever have officially cemented their spot as the 7th seed, which means they are almost certainly going to be facing the powerhouse Las Vegas Aces in the playoffs, unless of course the Sparks somehow pull off a win in a game that, let's be real, doesn't really even matter to the standings.
The Indiana Fever have cemented the 7th seed, almost certainly facing the Las Vegas Aces in the playoffs, unless somehow the Sparks beat them in a game where that doesn't really matter. And I think it's going to be an interesting one. Like, KK is definitely not going to be in the rotation.
Fans absolutely packed the arena, all hoping for a glimpse of Caitlin Clark, and guess what? She delivered, big time, by signing autographs courtside. What's wild is, even with some empty seats still visible, her presence during the Fever's playoff clinching night totally became a viral highlight, all on its own.
Fans pure joy over chance signing or autograph of Caitlin Clark. She was there. Right there she is, right there signing. Look at the empty seats in this joker. Look at them empty seats over there. Whoa, awfully empty. All that's empty up there. Might have been a few more folks that showed up. There's Caitlin Clark again.
The Fever's defense was just dominant, completely locking down the Mystics and fueling their incredible playoff run, right? That intense effort set the perfect tone for the celebration that followed, where the massive buzz around Caitlin Clark just made the entire night even more memorable.
That is legendary stuff right there. Caitlin Clark takeover. The world tour continues. We might be in Spain. We might be in Europe. You don't know where she's going to be next.
Next up, despite literally all the noise and setbacks they faced this season, the Fever somehow stamped their ticket to the playoffs with pure resilience. And that locker room celebration after their huge win carried this incredible extra meaning, especially with Caitlin Clark right there at the center of all the fan attention.
Hopefully they do good. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be rooting for them. I doubt if I go to any playoff games. I was if Caitlin would have been coming, but I'm not, guys. But I'm telling you right now, this is big time news. The Gales got it done, man, in Baltimore, Maryland. Went up there, won by damn near 30. Fever clinched a playoff berth, bro. What a hell of a feeling, dog.
Get this, it's the first time since 2016 that the Fever have made back-to-back playoffs, which is a massive achievement absolutely worth celebrating. And even though Caitlin Clark wasn't on the court, her name was echoing through every single postseason conversation and all through the locker room.
First time since 2016 that they've made, to be honest, it was the first time they made playoffs since 2016 last year, but it's the first time they made back-to-back playoffs. And considering everything, look, you got to be proud of these players. And I think it's fine to say from a fan standpoint that, you know what, like...
So with their playoff spot officially secured at number 7, the conversation immediately shifted. Who would they face first? The Fever's celebration, already highlighted by Caitlin Clark's undeniable presence, went totally viral as fans immediately started debating that potential Dreamer Aces matchup.
The Indiana Fever just clinched their playoff berth, right? So they're in it. They're number 7. They're in it. Now you have Seattle fighting for this position with the Los Angeles Sparks. And I do feel like the Seattle Storm, all they have to do is win one and they'll clinch it, or the Sparks have to lose one and then it's over for them. I think the Sparks schedule is too tough.
Okay, so the big question, did they sit Caitlin Clark? And how long ago was this decision even made? Was Caitlin Clark actually healthy and the Indiana Fever just said, nope, we don't care if you're healthy, we're not playing you? There's a lot of shady business and a ton of gray areas swirling around this whole Caitlin Clark is out for the season situation.
Did they sit Caitlin Clark? How long ago was this decision made? Is Caitlin Clark healthy and the Indiana Fever said, I don't care if you're healthy, we're not playing you? A lot of shady business, a lot of gray area going around this whole entire Caitlin Clark out for the season. Indiana Fever not allowing her back. Indiana Fever benching her.
Think about this. Caitlin Clark, their absolute best player, has been out for most of the year, only managing to play 13 games, and now she's unfortunately ruled out for the rest of the season. But it doesn't stop there. Sophie Cunningham, one of their standout players, out for the season. Erie McDonald, that crucial pickup meant to back up Clark at point guard, also out for the season. It's just wild.
Caitlin Clark, their best player, out for the majority of the year, only plays in 13 games, now unfortunately ruled out for the remainder of the season. Sophie Cunningham, one of their standout players, out for the season. Erie McDonald, the pivotal pickup to back up Clark at point guard, out for the season. Duana Bonner, the marquee free agent, signed, plays 9 games, leaves for the Phoenix Mercury.
Even if you, Caitlin Clark, are out for the rest of the season because of injury, that means so much for every single other player. That means Sydney Colson. That means Sophie Cunningham. That means Erie McDonald. That means Chloe Beebe. And it means every single person who's come in late and just absolutely contributed to this team.
Even if you are out for the rest of the season because you're injured. So yes, that means Caitlin Clark. That means Sydney Colson. That means Sophie Cunningham. That means Erie McDonald. That means Chloe Bibby. That means every person, those who have come in late and contributed to this team, whether in practice, whether in a game. We have watched every one of them cheer one another on. Their family, they love one another.
So Caitlin Clark went down with that gnarly groin injury like 2 months ago, and honestly we hadn't seen or heard anything from her since. But then just the other day, I actually reported it right here on my channel. Caitlin Clark herself came out and posted on her own Twitter, on her own Instagram, on social media, basically saying, hey, I'm super thankful for all you fans, but unfortunately I won't be returning this season because of that injury.
Even when, you know, their leader, captain of the ship, being Caitlin Clark, had went down with that groin injury like 2 months ago. We ain't seen or heard from her since. And then the other day, I had reported it here on my channel that Caitlin Clark just came out and said it on her own Twitter, on her own Instagram post, on social media, saying like, you know what, I'm thankful for all the fans, but unfortunately, I will not be returning this season due to that injury. So again,
okay, so they actually beat us, and we played them like 2, maybe 3, or even 4 times. I don't even think Caitlin played in any of those games, but seriously, they beat us that first time, even when Dana Bonner was on the team. They just plain beat us.
We played them 3 times. I don't think Caitlin's played any of them or in any of the 4. But like they beat us the first time, even when Dewana Bonner was on the team. They beat us. They beat us for their last win. Ironically, as Demiris Dantas goes into another 3. It's about time, Dantas. It's about freaking time. But basically, this is a team that has given us trouble. This is a team that wants to beat us. This is a team that wants to kill us.
Naturally, there were a ton of questions swirling around about whether Caitlin Clark was actually healthy enough to return, but the team ultimately decided to hold her out. Even without her playing, her sheer presence during the Fever's massive playoff push totally amped up the celebration, making it an even bigger viral moment.
There's a chance maybe she felt like she could play, actually. I put a video out earlier. It was pretty clear. They had that meeting. And again, I think there's questions that need to be answered from that meeting. Who had her cleared enough to play? Did the franchise technically have her clear enough to play?
And Darius Dantas. He absolutely knocked down 3 triples, giving the Fever this massive lift right off the bench. It's these kinds of clutch performances that truly fueled their playoff clinch and turned that post-game celebration into something fans just could not stop sharing.
You have to make your threes because you don't really bring anything else. Like, you're not a great defender. You can't really move. So if you're not making shots, you can't really be on the floor. But if you telling me you're going to be shooting 3 or 4 from 3, if you're going to be shooting 3 for 4 from 3, Dantas, I'm rolling. Rolling. I'm rolling, Dantas, if you gonna be shooting like that. This was a hell of a team effort. We needed to get this win to secure our spot in 7th place to stay the hell away from the Minnesota Lynx in the first round.
Man, through all the controversy and every single injury this season, the Fever still absolutely fought their hearts out and made their way into the playoffs. And that incredible resilience was perfectly reflected in their locker room celebration that quickly...
Extraordinary. To deal with Stephanie White's shitty-ass play calling, to still stamp their way is magnificent, guys. I just gotta be honest. I'm happy for the team. Hopefully they do good. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be rooting for them. I doubt if I go to any playoff games like I was if Caitlin would have been coming, but I'm not, guys.
Seriously, just 10 minutes of Caitlin Clark in the playoffs could have completely changed everything. But here's the kicker. Even without her, the Fever still earned their shot fair and square. That playoff clinching celebration truly showcased the incredible spirit that carried them all this way.
And I think at that stage, she doesn't like minutes restriction. I think she'd be okay with 10 minutes a game. I think 10 minutes a game for Caitlin Clark is like, that can be a difference between winning and losing a game, in my opinion, just because of how much she looks up and runs. That can be a game deciding factor, but they've done what they've done.
Anything can truly happen in the playoffs, and the Fever definitely know it. Their now viral locker room celebration wasn't just a party, it marked the beginning of a whole new chapter as Caitlin Clark and the rest of the team gear up for their next massive challenge.
So that's what it looks like right now, though. That's what it looks like. They're either going against the Atlanta Dream or they're going against the Aces, man. Y'all let me know how y'all felt about the game and how do you feel about the standings? Who do y'all think the Indiana Fever will be safer to play, the Dream or the Aces?
The Indiana Fever just clinched a playoff spot, and it's looking right now like the Atlanta Dream are going to be their first round matchup. So if everything stays exactly as it is, who do you think is going to win between the Atlanta Dream and the Indiana Fever? Let me know.
Indiana Fever clinching a playoff spot, and it looks right now that the Atlanta Dream are going to be our first round matchup. If everything stays as it is, who do you think is going to win between the Atlanta Dream and the Indiana Fever?
Honestly, I think just being a part of this locker room, you never ever doubt yourself or what you're capable of, no matter what challenges hit you. I truly believe the entire staff, right up to the head, made some brilliant decisions when players went down, thinking carefully about who to bring in and the kind of people they needed. And that really was our whole mindset. We never doubted ourselves for a second. We never doubted that we could actually make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think, just being someone in this locker room, you never doubt yourself and what you're capable of, no matter what happens. I think the entire staff, up to the head, just made great decisions when people went down on who to bring in, the type of people to bring in. And that was really our mindset. We never doubted ourselves. We never doubted that we could be in the playoffs. Even if things looked like it got harder, for us, it was about sticking together. And I think through everything, you're able to see that, us play with joy, us play together, regardless of who's on that floor.
Making the playoffs with your friends? Love that. I absolutely love the incredible culture this team has managed to create right in the middle of all this adversity. And get this, Aerial Powers totally brought the energy today coming off the bench. Just take a look at these numbers. 15 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. Absolutely insane.
Here's Aerial Powers, 29-point dub to clinch our spot in the playoffs, #Fever win. And then we've got this sheer joy there. Now you know Lexi and Aerial Powers doing the jump bump.
Huge shout out to the Indiana Fever. Massive congratulations on absolutely defeating the Washington Mystics today. They totally put that belt to their behinds, and again, massive congrats to the Indiana Fever for officially making it into the playoffs.
Freaking ridiculous. But anyway, shout out to Indiana Fever. Congratulations on them defeating the Washington Mystics. Okay, today they put that belt to behind. And congratulations to the Indiana Fever for making it into the playoffs again.
And again, could they have played the game into like the 20s? Sure, maybe. But we're talking about a 30-point win against a team that, by the way, they only split the season series with, even after this victory. That's just wild.
Kelsey had 10 and we still won by 30. 30. And again, could they make it like game into 20? Sure. But a 30-point win against a team, by the way, we only split the season series with even after this win. They beat us with, we played them 3 times. I don't think Caitlin's played in any of them or in any of the 4. But like they beat us the first time, even when Dewana Bonner was on the team, they beat us.
Okay, so it totally depends on who they draw next. But this was a massive, massive win. Obviously, the Mystics aren't making the playoffs, but we are. The Fever just clinched a playoff berth, man. What a hell of a feeling. And seriously, just 10 minutes of Caitlin Clark in the playoffs could have completely changed everything. But even without her, the Fever still absolutely earned their shot.
At least in the first round of the playoffs, you know? I mean, do I think that they might have made maybe the semifinal or something? Yeah, it depends on who they draw.
I'm rolling with the defensive effort today. Everybody deserves credit for what they did today. This was a massive win. Obviously, the Mystics aren't making the playoffs.
Fever clinched a playoff berth, bro. What a hell of a feeling, dog.
And I think at that stage, she doesn't like minutes restriction. I think she'd be okay with 10 minutes a game. I think 10 minutes a game for Caitlin Clark is like that can be the difference between winning and losing a game, in my opinion.
The Indiana Fever game versus the Washington Mystics. And yes, indeed, Indiana, congratulations, clinched a playoff spot.
Anything can truly happen in the playoffs, and the Fever definitely know it. Caitlin Clark in the Fever's locker room celebration has already blown up and gone totally viral, but now, the real journey truly begins. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to keep up with every single playoff moment.